This is what I had to do. I said, okay, I'm sitting in the class like you guys, and as I'm sitting there was this instructor, the police instructor. She was standing in front of the class, and thankfully she was a black woman who looked like me, so I didn't feel too uncomfortable asking her. But she said, all right, she said, okay, boys and girls, we're all police officers preparing to become, to become police officers in 6 months. She said, your parents are going to be so proud of you. You're going to be at Madison Square Garden. There's going to be 5,000 people. The police commissioner, the mayor's going to be there. You're going to be so happy. Take a look. This is what your graduation is going to look like right here. We looked at the screen. And in this screen, I'm watching the video, and I'm seeing all of these police officers in blue. Group attend, hurry, rest, order, arms, saluting. Sea of blue, the hats, they're preparing for something that was going to take place next, and all I could hear in the background was this music being played. What do you think I was hearing as I listened and I'm watching this video? That was the only thing in this video that got my attention.
The American anthem?
The national anthem.
The national.
That's how I felt too, because I'll tell you something. All I could hear was the national anthem being sung. That's the only thing that got my attention, because prior to that I was so depressed, I was miserable, I didn't understand, I just didn't want to be there. But I heard the singing of the national anthem, and that moment right there, spoke volumes, because for me, that was like my dream. I knew that in my head that that's what I wanted to do. And I want to ask you real quick, how many of you get little, you have little voices or your instincts or things speaking to you that, tell you, well, do your homework or do this, or maybe you should fill out an application. You guys have that little feeling sometimes, your gut feeling? I see you nodding your head. Yes. Well, sometimes. Well, I want you to trust that. That's your instincts. That's been given to you for a reason. That's what guides you. What else tells you what to do? Your mom or dad? Are they constantly telling you what to do? Yes. Really?
I mean, they all adore me. I do live in their house, so.
Absolutely, right. But sometimes if they're not speaking to you, or if your teacher's not speaking to you, sometimes if you're walking to school by yourself or you're moving about your life, you're constantly thinking of things, right? You have thoughts that come to your head. And it may be something positive, something negative, but most of the time the positive thought is the one that we want to follow. So I want you to know that you are guided by your own instincts. And when I heard the national anthem being sung, my intuition, my feeling was that that's what I want to do. I want to sing the national anthem. At the end of that class, when class was over, I quietly walked up to her and I asked her if I wanted to sing a national anthem for my graduation, who I need to speak to. And she said, oh, that's it. That's the ceremonial unit. They're on the 7th floor. And I said, okay. She said, just go ask this lieutenant, whatever his name was, I don't remember. Immediately after class, I didn't even take the elevator. I darted upstairs, knocked on the door, walked in. And at the time, when you're not a police officer, it's PPO, so it's probationary police officer. I saluted PPO Collins. He said, what do you want? What is it? I said, if I wanted to sing the national anthem for our graduation, who I need to, how can I go about doing that? He said, well, do you know the national anthem? And I had to think about it, because I wasn't sure, like you, I wasn't sure if it was like Star Spangled Banner, God Bless America. So I kind of hesitated for a moment, and he kind of tossed the paper to me. He goes, well, those are the lyrics. Take that home and then come back tomorrow and you can sing it for us. You can sing it. And I took the sheet, saluted, thanked him, and walked out that door. And I was excited, because here I was, this little, black girl from the hood, and here I am on a police department, and they just gave me an opportunity to sing tomorrow for him the national anthem. And remind you, when I was a little girl, that's what I wanted to be.
That's a blessing.
Oh, I'm glad you see it. You saw it, right? In the story you could hear, yes, that's a blessing. I went home, and all I could think about the night before was just practicing and coming back and singing for him tomorrow. Now I grew up, even though I didn't get to sing too much in school, because I wasn't encouraged to sing, I was always teased, they used to call me Blackie, Midnight Spook, they used to call me a lot of names, so it really did a lot to my self-esteem. So I really didn't sing in school for many years at all, actually until I was out of high school. But I did sing in church, so I was glad my mom did bring me to church and I had a little platform to sing.
Ooh.
So that helped me to realize that maybe I had some practice. So you always want to get some practice in what you do. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're doing it in school or you are afraid to show it in front of your friends or your peers, if you have other resources out there that you can get to, and that people can use your services or your talents or your gift, share it so you can exercise it and get really good at it. And I'm telling you, the way I was teased, it really did a lot to my self-esteem. But the fact that I still had a platform that I was able to go to church and I was really,
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Don't find yourself.
Good to see you.
See you again.
All right. Your hair looks great. And I had the opportunity to practice. That prepared me for NYPD. It prepared me for NYPD and to sing for this tall, handsome, blonde-haired, blue-eyed gentleman that was going to watch me come and perform tomorrow. Came in, knocked on the door, saluted, and he said, all right, sing the song. And I began to sing the national anthem for him. Should I sing it, or you guys already heard me sing?
I want to hear it.
You want to hear it?
Your voice is lovely.
Okay, thank you. All right, so he said, are you ready to sing? I said, yes, sir. P.P.O. Collins, and then he said, okay. And I began to sing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free and the home of the brave?
Her voice is so lovely. Miss Harold, I think we just found us Miss Howard, can you sing our graduation song? So when we graduate in June, can you sing that?
Bring that to the attention of Mr. Albert.
I'm gonna really talk to him about that because that's crazy.
Well, absolutely, I'd love to. And I'm gonna tell you, after I sang the national anthem for him, he just looked at me with this really cold kind of look and said, well, the person you have to speak to is not here. You have to come back tomorrow. And that was it.
Wow.
I walked out. But listen to what he said. See, I didn't think about it at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, he didn't say anything. He was very kind of cold, just really had no,
I mean, I think he was kind of shocked.
You think he was shocked?
Yeah, usually when people don't say nothing, like for example, I'm in a program called the Possibility Project, and it's like it's like a live theater thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we like dance, sing, and act all at once.
Yeah,
So it's like when people like sitting there quiet and they have the cold face, that means like they're listening, they're paying attention. I learned that from my director.
Wow, look at you. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
That is awesome. Well, yeah, now I know that now. But see, when you're young and you kind of have you don't know how to decipher what's happening. So think of those things. He was quiet and he didn't really give any response in his face or anything. And I left though, but he said come back tomorrow. So that still meant that he thought it was something special about my voice. So I was excited. I went home and I practiced again, and I was excited. Didn't tell anyone in my household, and never really shared things. I kind of kept things to myself. Because remember, your dream is for
You.
Exactly. It's not my mother's dream, my brother's dream, my cousin, my best friend, because they don't share the same dream. So they might say something that might be negative and turn me off or make me not believe in myself. But I went home, came back, practiced, sang again. When I came back the following day, the room had about 12 people in it. There was an office. It was like, I said, oh my goodness, he must have said something, because it was, instead of the one person, there was like 12 people in there. And I sang again. And then at the end of the singing, he said, well, we'll call you. So, don't call us, we'll call you. I said, no, thank you, sir. Saluted, walked out. And would you believe he did call me a few times? It was much later, a couple months into my 6-month training. 3 months later, we might have had a Black History program. He called me to sing for that program. And then at the end of that, I was chosen to sing the national anthem for our graduation at Madison Square Garden on that screen with 5,000 police officers and parents and the mayor and the police commissioner, and receiving my first write-up in the newspaper, in the Daily News. Police officer Ruby Collins sings the soulful rendition of the national anthem. That was my first write-up in the newspaper. With that happening, that only boosts your self-esteem, your confidence, knowing that not only did I inspire, sang in church, but now here I was a police officer, now making a name for myself and singing, and people getting to know who I was. And as a result, I ended up singing, 2 years later, I was at the White House singing for President Bill Clinton.
So fascinating.
2 years later, I'm 50 years old, by the way, so when Bill Clinton was around, you probably wasn't even born then. It was an amazing experience. And when I sang at the White House, that experience, I was on television, newspapers, radios, magazines, Essence Magazine. I had my 15 minutes of fame. After doing that, I said to myself, if they could see my talent, then I need to believe in myself. So the importance of me sharing this is to inspire you guys that it's about your journey. I'm sharing you my journey. I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, little black girl with the full lips, kinky hair, curly hair.
It's not about how you start, it's how you finish.
Wow. I love you already.
That's Anthony.
Anthony, I love how you speak, Anthony. But that's going to trickle over to all of us to think the way you think. Your thoughts is what's going to create your experiences. I want you to remember this. Energy flows where attention goes. Energy flows where attention goes. Where your attention goes and what you think of most of the time is what's going to happen in your life. What you think about all the time is what's going to happen. When I was a police officer, the only thing I thought about doing was making sure that everyone knew my name as a cop, as the singing police officer. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't know what I know now. How do you think of those things? But that's what I did, and it happened. And I left. I taught myself to play instruments. I started a school. I played 10 instruments, and I brought my guitar. I'm just going to do this last piece for you, and then I want to get into our lesson. And then I have about, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? What do we have?
This class is over at 9:32.
Great.
9:31.
So I brought my guitar. So you asked me if I play instruments. I left the police department. I became a school teacher. Went back to school, got my degree, became a teacher. I came into the school system. There was no music, really, like where I shouldn't say there's no music. In our community, there's not a lot of music. But I wanted to be able to teach, students, kids that look like me or do not have the opportunity to have music. That's what I wanted to do. I started a school. I have 3 boys. They all play. I've taught them to play instruments, and we all teach out of the school. It's RC Music Place. And again, I'm self-taught. So the discipline, life, in order to get anywhere and do what you have to do, you have to have discipline. And discipline just means that you do that little thing every day. I'm not a smart, brilliant person. I might be brilliant. I feel brilliant because I know that I have to believe in myself, and I have to say that. I have to speak those words on my life. So yes, you are, and we all are brilliant. But you cannot get anywhere if you don't have discipline. So here's a song that I do a lot of high school assemblies as well, and we share and we talk, and this is one of the songs that I do often. Broken down and tired, can't fight the fighter. See it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Ooh, mountains gon' walk it out. Ooh, mountains gon' walk it out. And I rise up, I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I rise up, I rise like the day. I rise up, in spite of the age. I rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, all right, thank you very much. So that's my guitar playing, and again, I play several instruments. If you think about it, it's about discipline. How does all of this happen? Because I believe in me. I do something consistently every day because I want to get better at it, and I get to use this in my life, in my journey, in helping and servicing other people. So I want to encourage you guys today, whatever you, where energy what? Flows.
Flows through you.
Energy flows. Wait. Energy,
Flows.
attention.
Attention follows.
Attention follows.
I know I get stuck with it. Yo, I already forgot it already. But I mean, I kept saying I have to say it over and over so I can remember. Where energy flows, attention goes. Did I say it that way?
Yeah.
I did? You gotta write it down. Right. Where attention goes, energy flows. Where attention flows, energy goes. Either way, whatever you think of is what you're gonna create in your life. If you think of negative, you're gonna receive negative. If you think positive, it's gonna happen, it will happen. You have to change the energy based on what you put out there. And it's real. Okay? It's real. How old are you? Generally these classes about what?
I'm 17.
17, okay, 17, 18, 16, whatever, that age group. I'm telling you now, where you think of what you think of most is what's going to happen. If you think that mom doesn't love me, or my life isn't great, or my dad hates my guts, the energy will continue that way. If you think you're not going to be successful because you came from a special ed background, or this is not happening in your life, or this sucks, that sucks, and I hate this person, that's where what the universe is going to give you. It says, okay, oh, is that what you want? Bing, there you have it. You want some more? Whatever you're thinking. So from this point on, think positively and change the wind that moves that sail. Okay?
You just taught me something.
What did I teach you?
Good comes for those who wait.
For those who wait. So good comes to those who wait, but those who go after it,
Not like good comes for those who wait. Cause remember, like you was telling me a story about how you was in a police department, and then remember the dude telling you coming back tomorrow, come back tomorrow, come back
yes,
tomorrow.
come back to my ride.
You would just say, okay, salute, come back tomorrow, say thank you. Good comes for those who wait.
Yes.
That's what you just told me. Not like that.
Very good. Yes. Well, I'm glad you like that, and I just wanted to share my story because you guys may never meet someone like me again. And maybe a long time from now, but at least I can share my story, and I'm real, okay? All right, so let's go into our lesson.